Their season's on the line. Sandilands in the ruck. Warnock against him. Pavlich held,
yeah.
And he didn't get a free on it. That was cruel. Carazzo sweeps a handball wide. Zach Clark tries to get there, meets Judd, who still collects. Clark collects him, dispossessed. Clancy Pearce pops it in the Ballantyne direction. Got back, thinks about playing on, takes off.
And misses. You believe that? He did everything right until he played on.
Oh, they needed that, didn't they?
He showed great courage. All he had to do then was stop, take his time, go back and have the set shot. And he just put himself under pressure by playing on.
And by doing that, you give the ball back to Chris Yarran, who you don't want it in his hands at all. And he messed this one up, though.
Scotland back, Yarran. Now Sandilands, Warnock, Fife.
Again, good courage.
His body on the line. Barlow, top of the square. Farland can't mark. He's hardly seen it. Laidler hands it over. Barlow collects. He's got players on the rebound. Pearce, Johnson thinks about going himself. Goes to McFarlane, who sees it finally. Can't get a snap away. Clark, he's been good all day.
They blew it again. They blew it again.
Good forward pressure, though. They have to keep this up and they'll get the opportunity. Soon it'll break.
Michael Johnson needed to go first option. Handball over the top. They run into an open goal. But again, the Blues' pressure has them second-guessing, making them make split-second decisions. And the Dockers haven't handled it thus far.
Yarran short to Carazzo.
His hands have just been off Andrew Carazzo. Hadn't been out of the game for a while.
Pumped out of the area in the end by Allard. Walker attacked it nicely, got a shin on it. Pavlich, little fumble. Garlett stole it back. Murphy tucked up against the line, does well. Robinson spears that. Simpson, and now the Blues take off. Simpson looks up, sees the Sandilands running after him. Has a bounce. Sandilands can still gobble him up, but he's given up. Top of the square. Garlett lurking. Trapped by Silvani. In fact, it was Fox. Splendid work. Pavlich can't trap it. Judd does trap it. Goes for goal. They're hot, the Blues. And Judd puts some petrol on the fire.
Well, just to finish, it is a cruel game. If you don't take your chances, you're going to pay a price. And Fremantle here, we can just see, gets a hand here, Garlett. Good tackle because he held in one hand. That ball had to go out a bit wider, out of the corridor. Heath Scotland runs at it. One grab. Class player. Class finish. That's exactly why he's a champion, this bloke. But Fremantle don't take their chances up the other end. And if you're not going to take them in this game, you're going to pay a price, as I said.
Biggest lead of the game, 30 points. Almost a deathly silence here at Patterson Stadium.
Still, it's Chris Mayne running with Chris Judd.
Hill, Clark, Ibbotson, Ballantyne with Carazzo. Sidestep was clever. The pass just as good. Pavlich. Can he hit a chest? Johnson's on the move to the back. Henderson got a hand on it. McFarlane steals it, loses it. Barlow dives in. The umpire will sort it out with the ball up.
You can see Matthew Pavlich with his hand raised, apologising. Even he's missing targets. He had an obvious target short if he wanted it. He looked for the longer target, but still missed him. Kicked it over his head. So they're having problems disposing by foot, hitting targets all over the ground.
Sandilands took it out of the air. Hillard thumps it away. Pavlich, Garlett. Pavlich manhandles him away. Garlett still too good. Mzungu. Bounce eludes him. That's too high, surely. Crowd rule their approval.
He's a good player, Silvani, isn't he? He's showing his... well, he started up forward and kicked a goal, but he's gone down back again, and he's playing well down back.
Makes that tough for Clark. Almost marks it. McFarlane. Back to Clark. Barlow. Splendid tackle, although he shrugged it. Clark from the pocket. Centering kick. Sandilands. He misread it.
His timing's out.
He cannot jump, can he?
No power.
I think he's worried about landing on that foot. I'll tell you what, he wouldn't want to do it again because it could be career-threatening if he keeps fracturing or opening up that break.
Takes it out of the air, hands it off, but not to a target. Judd gets there first, and he takes off. Left foot kick, spectacularly good. It's wide. It allowed Murphy to either run onto it or let it run out.
Great test for Tendai Mzungu, just playing on Mark Murphy. You'll find out what running's about when you play on Mark Murphy.
And Jason, you mentioned about Alex Silvani. The one thing that's noticeable about him, he knows his limitations and he plays to his strengths all the time. So that's why you can back him all the time. He's a reliable player.
Robinson tries to thread his way through. The seas didn't part for him. The lift doors closed on him. Barlow.
There you got Sandlands on Scotland at centre forward.
Talk about limitations.
Kick it there. So he kicks to a 1-on-4.
Yeah, that's crazy. Although it works, Crowley. Centering kick, puts it up high. Lower's got 2 to beat. Laidler.
So they have tall options everywhere, and they kick to a 1-on-4 followed by a 1-on-2 to 2 smalls. I don't get that.
Hill hurt in the hands of trainers. Wide ball to Henderson. 2 subs, by the way. Hinkley for Fremantle and Tui for the Blues. Neither of them have been used yet. If you've just joined us, Garlett.
We'll take on Barlow easy there.
Handball's along the line.
And
Paddles it his own way. Silvani falls. And he gathers just outside 50. Goes long. Thornton, goal square. Got it. That was amazing.
Well, he had 2 players, Dwayne, who you'd think lack of leg speed is a big issue. Barlow as a midfielder, we know he accumulates, but he's not quick.
But knowing that, Shaw, you've got to take the body.
Take him out.
The body out and give away the free
kick. It wasn't good defensively, was it? Good identification by Jeff Garlett, though, who was around him.
Thornton runs around.
And did you see the lack of pressure on the side?
Madness.
That is woeful. Absolutely. Now, there's two options here. Barlow's the first one. You've got to just tackle him. Just dive and tackle him. Don't reach in with a hand.
Even if you give a free kick there.
Silvani tries to bump the body, but you're better off tackling him and drag him to ground, and then it's an easy mark for Thornton. But what really would annoy Mark Harvey is how easy he was to run around. No one's coming in to put pressure on. There's no one within 5 or 10 metres of him. That is poor attention to detail, poor discipline.
You can't blame a bad pre-season or injuries for no pressure on a kick a goal like that.
That is discipline and desire.
He's made a few changes. Ryan Crowley, who had the best of Heath Scotland in that first half, now has gone forward. I don't think he kicks many goals.
He kicked 5 in the game, I reckon, at one stage.
Yeah, it'll be 1 and only.
Yeah. Sandlands to Pavlich. McFarlane needs to get into the game. Ball eludes him. Out of play.
Sure, he has been a goal kicker. A couple of times he has kicked 3. Once in a derby, I think he kicked 3. But we've got a mismatch now. Silvani deep in the other end of the ground on Chris Judd.
Just the 2 kicks for McFarlane so far today. Back into play. Sandlands flicks it. McFarlane played for the free, didn't get it. Barlow off the deck. And he misses.
But even that is a great indication of work rate. That was Barlow 1 out against 4 Blues that were closing in on him.
Yaron to bring it back into play. Fremantle's entire season at breaking strain right now. Scotland. Their run home, Fremantle, isn't kind. They've got Collingwood in a couple of weeks here. They might have to win that to make the finals. Hillard. Carazzo. Walker, his target.
He's good, Fawkes.
Yep, he has been good.
Bumped down by Fawkes. McFarlane on the wing.
They've
Almost stripped. And it does roll free. Well played, Simpson. Kept it rolling, and Murphy gathers. Warnock on his own inside 50. He can stroll if he wants to. He holds it up.
He's got Judd loose. He's got loose players everywhere.
And he goes to Judd eventually. Judd takes them on.
They wanted that more on the wing then, though, Dwayne. They were just harder at the body, harder at the contest. And at the moment, this is becoming a little bit embarrassing. Just have a look at it. Just the want to win the contest. Seems he is a great player.
Yeah, there's not a massive difference on the scoreboard, although it's big enough. But there is a pretty big gulf between what we're seeing in terms of a team battling to make the 8 and one team that pretty much believes they're a top 4 side and think they can be a real threat.
Carlton's tackle pressure here on the wing again almost works for them. Ibbotson gets it off to Ballantyne, who takes off. Crowley's running back towards goal. Needs to prop. Knocked down by Yaron to his own advantage. Getting in Ballantyne and Henderson. Wrapped up, dropped it. Armfield caught, dragged down. Ballantyne's got him. Crowd yelling ball. Still get nothing. Johnson Hill goes for goal from 50 away. Hits the
bottom of the post.
Nothing working for them.
Yeah, but that last kick from Ballantyne was symptomatic of just about everything they've done today. It didn't have the penetration to get over the top. It should have been a shot for goal for the Dockers.
Fremantle look up and the ball's on the wing already.
Yeah, and loose Carlton players everywhere.
Thornton to Murphy. Judd's only rival perhaps to stop him from getting a Brownlow this year. He's been in outstanding form again today. Takes on Main, and that is too good.
Ridiculous.
It's a floater. Gibbs stands under it. Fife. Duffield shut down by Betts. Pressure on the kick. And Arnfield wins it because of the pressure. Back to the man who put the pressure on Betts. Number one tackler inside 50. Sets up his own attempted goal. And that's not so spectacular.
How good was that between the legs?
He enjoyed the first one and then he just bit off a little bit more than he could. I thought he was actually going to try and step inside the second one.
Bit of showboat there.
A wry smile on the face of Eddie Betts. He went the miracle banana around the corner.
Number one tackler in the AFL inside 50, Eddie Betts, and he's got 4 goals to add to that this afternoon. That's a toe off the deck by Gibbs, and Grover runs it through. Here's Betts again. Ibbotson with the kick in. 36 points the margin to Pavlich. Got high, couldn't mark it. Johnson crumbs it. Clark couldn't collect. Barlow does. Pierce, and now Hill. He's the runner. Needs to collect and give it over the top. He went to ground. Oh, that is horrific. Judd to Ellard. Here go the Blues.
He had lower loose in the forward 50 all on his own.
Ibbotson stands under this. Takes an easy grab.
Oh, Stephen Hill, you've got to know when you go at the contest, all he had to do was keep his head over the ball then instead of sliding in. He would have got contact and probably would have got a 3 kick.
Yeah, body barrel it forward.
No doubt.
Difference between these two teams right now. It might only be 4th and 9th on the ladder, but they are a gulf apart.
Yeah.
Mazungu, 5.
Someone's got to lead up at him. Everyone's leading back.
Johnson does lead up. 5 might go for goal himself. Heads to the square and cut off by Yaron.
He did not get one good lead coming up at him there. Nathan Fife. Someone had to lead at the player with the ball.
Ellard keeps it low, makes it tough for Thornton. Feeds back onto it. Pierce gets there first. Arnfield helps him out.
Just have a look at the last time Ballantyne was going forward. He's got 2 options. He can run and carry or kick it over the top. You can see the player clear, but he doesn't get enough penetration on it, and it was to the wrong side of the contest. Crowley should have been having a shot for goal, but Ballantyne just couldn't hit the target, and unfortunately, all of the Dockers have done that when they're going forward.
Cruiser, Gibbs, Thornton, back to Gibbs, and already the Blues in the blink of an eye.
Oh, danger
to
here.
half forward. Betts, nearly. Marks inside 50, Carlton 10, Fremantle 5.
Well, that nearly shows the story there. And Fremantle have had a number of opportunities, but as Jason said, you've got to pinpoint. If you run and bounce the ball and you're in free space, you've got to find a target.
Judd again. Takes possession, takes them on, gets a handball out to Garland, outside of the boot. It's all about the bounce. Oh, Broughton waited for it.
He did. There is no desperation whatsoever from the Dockers, and that's an indictment on the effort. I hope we get to see Greg Broughton here as he waits for the ball to come down, because he's worried about the bounce. Well, the one bounce you've got to cater for is the one that he just backs off and pauses. He had to go hard at the footy, because the one bounce that kills him the most is the one that goes straight ahead to the goal line. Don't wait for the ball to bounce back to you. You've got to defend the goals.
Just one other thing too, the crucial, another broken tackle. I know it's Chris Judd, and he does break tackles, but when you do it from 20 metres out, you know, you're just going to get scored against every time then.
I'll tell you what's going to happen now. This has got all the signs of a blowout on it.
Warnock with the knockdown. Walker, he lost it as he was tackled. Pavlich, likewise. Barlow, caught by Warnock.
They're just running harder at the contest. Yeah, and that's an thing. That's only about effort, it's not about ability, it's not about skill. It's about putting your head over. We saw it with Stephen Hill at centre half forward. He didn't want to put his head over the ball and cop one in the head and get a free kick for his side.
Sandlands makes Ballantyne work for it. Turns on Walker. It's wide. McFarlane again can't catch it. Mzungu. Lower. Caught from behind. Davies wrapped him up. Wins himself a free. Murphy play on advantage.
And that's the quality of tackle that's different as well. It doesn't allow the player to get the ball free.
Dygan back to Murphy.
Look at the kick here.
Now they've got the confidence to attack the corridor.
Betts. Played 16 minutes third term. And this one slipping away from the Dockers. Their whole season slipping away. Betts to half forward. Cruiser crashes the pack. Judd went back with the fly for a kick.
Mate. At least he put his body on the line there, Dwayne. He was going to cop it from the front and the back. Have a look at this. He knows it's coming from the back. He didn't probably expect the front one, though.
Scotland and Crowley beats him this time.
Got no one to kick to. There's no one making space.
Pavlich forward, but there's not a lot of run.
And
it's a push out.
It's a free kick to Pavlich.
Now, McFarlane deep, Johnson deep.
And
Someone's going to
Crowley
lead up. Someone's going to lead up.
Puts it into the spot. McFarlane gathers on the bounce. Takes them on. Goes for goal. And he misses.
Oh, it's a Bronx cheer.
I think it was.
Cheers, Carlton. Cheers.
Hasn't quite been his afternoon, Luke McFarlane. Turns 30 later this year.
We know how good a key defender he is, but he has been a very, very competent swingman over the years that can go forward and kick goals because he's fast, he leads well, and he takes the big mark. Hasn't been able to get into it up forward today.
Davies. Thornton.
Overlap again. Just working harder. That's what creates the numbers.
Joseph to Dygan through arms. But Judd short. He ignores that. Robinson. Scotland.
Back in the corridor.
Yaron, look out.
See ya.
Straight past Sandlands.
Can go all the way.
Couple of bounces. Looks up. Sees the goal square. And it stays in play. Yes. 50 maybe. Ballantyne took them up. And takes off.
A bit tired after that run, Chris Yaron.
A little bit undisciplined there because he thought he should have got a free kick after he kicked it, and probably unnecessary on that occasion. No doubt it was unnecessary.
Oh, he slides, falls over, takes on Cruiser. He's over it. He's tackled. He's dead.
Ray.
That typifies the day for Fremantle, doesn't it?
Hands it off to Walker. Hasn't got himself a goal yet. Takes off to 50. Sizes them up. And he misses. There's something wrong with that Sharon.
Well, it won't go through the middle.
It's alarming how much time and space the Blues have when they win possession after a turnover. They run, carry, they're creating shots to goal. Now, they're not kicking them, but the ease with which they're finding free players going forward raises some serious questions over the Dockers' work rate.
They're just so stagnant, aren't they, the Dockers? They don't switch enough, they don't do it quick enough, and they're not running bounces. I don't think they've had many in the game.
Grover over the top to Main. And now Crowley with Scotland. Scotland did well, brings it to ground. Crowley tried to edge him under the ball, couldn't.
4 against 2, though.
Laidler, Scotland, Crowley gets it up. Barlow, Johnson. It's been good all afternoon. And he's good here.
Finally, they get one.
Gives them some hope.
Well, they just kept the ball alive. They haven't done it well all afternoon, but it was a one-on-one. I thought Scotland did it right early, then Crowley backed up. I thought they were getting out here, Carlton, but messed up the handball.
They did well, the Doggers, because they were outnumbered.
Yeah.
More blue jumpers than the purple ones.
Good handball over the top. Also from Michael Barlow to just open up for Johnson. Well done to Crowley. Kept the ball alive as a defensive forward. And they needed that goal.
Well, you mentioned good work by Crowley. The most important thing there, he didn't go to ground. Scotland went to ground, and making that move, Mark Harvey, has just added them a little bit of physicality, and that was a well-worked goal for Fremantle. The important thing now is they need back-to-back goals, boys.
Yeah, can they get on a roll? That's the thing that's been hard to see.
Ballantyne wins himself a free.
He's trying to lift it.
Yeah, he's gone into the middle, trying to get amongst the play, and there's a good quick kick.
To Barlow. We've played 20 minutes, third term. Finally, some momentum Fremantle's way. Spears it inside 50 and dropping back against the flow. Henderson.
I tell you that one kick, though, that Carlton have got to be worried about this. It's centre bounces. If Fremantle win it, they've been able to hit that one kick forward to Barlow on that occasion. Ballantyne's been on a number of times too.
Robinson floats a little. Betts has to go to the contest. Ballantyne beats him.
Having a purple patch here, except for the slip. Oh, look at the kick.
Shocking.
Give him a rap and look what happens.
Almost a drop. Carazzo on the third grab.
And he must know as a forward how frustrating kicks like that are straight to the man in the hole.
36 points the margin. Lower backs back. Walker from 4 deep crashes the pack again. Ballantyne, and again he wins a free surely. No in the back against Davies. Crowd again voicing their disgust. Flick down from Warnock. Muzungu steals it to Sandlands to half forward. Off hands. Pearce tackled Joseph. He just got it off to Arnfield in time. Murphy backtracks. He's got the outlet handle. Carazzo sidesteps Hill with ease. Joseph. No one comes at him. Walker with 3 to beat. And a good mark to Silvani. Then holding solid to Clark. 22 minutes gone. Pavlich. Muzungu lurking at the back. Can he pounce? Arnfield got there before him.
Numbers.
Henderson.
Numbers back and numbers coming out. So what does that tell you about where are all the Dockers? They're back in the middle of the ground just walking.
Dygan to Scotland. One of the best 40-metre passes in the game right now. Either foot. Gibbs. That's a bad 40-metre pass. Fumble from Silvani. Rare error. It was a tough one. High on Subin. Here's what the crowd roar for again. They don't get it.
And Dwayne Clayton Hinkley has come on. Fremantle have made their substitute, and Nick Lower out of the game.
Yeah, so Nick Lower's day is done.
Had a quiet one too, Dwayne. 4 possessions.
Zach Tui, Carlton sub, yet to be used. Simpson just gets a kick on it as he was bumped. Grover stands under it. And crowd 150. Don't get it.
Interesting they pay the free kick when you take the mark. I'd rather be paid the mark than given the free kick. It's a better stat.
Silvani. Floats it over the top. Subin.
Missed a target.
Broughton. Muzungu.
Then look at the numbers swarming in for the Blues.
Yeah, Muzungu didn't have it there. And he wins himself a free kick.
A number of times Dockers players just sag away from the contest, and 3 and 4 of the sky blue jumpers of Carlton just come steaming in. Puts enormous pressure on the Docker around the ball.
Subin, 50-metre kick to Crowley. Used his hands illegally. And the umpire furthest off the contest paid that.
Yeah, that's what I want. Thank you, Luke.
Okay.
No doubt on that occasion. Let's have a look. 2 hands in the back and see you later.
Just not enough players are well versed enough in that body-on-body to actually use the hip.
Yeah.
You don't even have to use the forearm. You can use your hip and bend into them and work them under the ball if you can judge the flight correctly.
Barlow trying to shuffle a handball out. Robinson trapped it, throws that away. Free kick, Pavlich. Play on advantage, but Barlow runs into traffic. It's to go back to Silvani.
And misses a target.
So a poor option to play on there. Silvani to Duffield, to Broughton.
Oh, look at that.
That is disastrous.
Yeah, and that's a sign of the pressure, though. He had to kick as soon as he got the ball because he was about to be tackled. But now loose numbers here. They'll pick them apart. You've got Garlett all on his own in the attacking 50. Matty Pavlich is trying to get back to pick him up.
But doesn't it come back to Barlow to making a better decision after the Pavlich tackle?
Yep. Yeah, good call, Jagger. He played on. He took the initiative. and it didn't help his team.
Silvani does well again.
And a stage where Fremantle trying to get back in the game, deny Fremantle possession of the balls, Carlton possession of the ball. So get it, go back, and just play keepies off for 5 minutes.
Inside 3 minutes to three-quarter time. Ibbotson wrapped up. Stolen by Simpson. Runs free. Kicks from 48. Slightly across the face. Still alive. Dragged through.
Tell you what, Jacko, they have become a very stagnant side. When they were up and going, and I know they've had injuries, but still the style of play, they just haven't got confidence to switch play and take the game on.
They're lacking confidence. They're reactive to Carlton. Carlton obviously have shown the way, the intensity, but Fremantle certainly are lacking that confidence that they had at the start of the year. Take the game on. They're not taking the game on.
Hill.
Kick it long over the top. That's where Fife wants it.
And Fife might get it. And he can play on if he wants to. Hands off to Crowley. Made it tough. Good bounced it to him. But he kicks the goal. They've got 2 in a row.
Well, I was a little bit concerned that Fife played on as well. He's 20 metres out, almost directly in front. They keep taking risks, but finally, for the Dockers, we saw Clayton Hinkley involved in the build-up, but finally, a decent kick going forward because Ibbotson found the penetration to clear the Blues' defence. That is a perfect kick to Fife, who then takes a little bit of a risk playing on, but they get the goal. That's the first genuinely good kick I've seen inside their attacking 50 this afternoon.
I think the other thing too, Carlton maybe just getting ahead of themselves, getting forward of the ball. The midfielders aren't pushing back into that spot to help out their defence, and that means the defenders went to the front position on that occasion.
Pavlich gets it out. Main have got a run on here. 2 minutes left. Mazungu needs to go for goal. We talked about it earlier. Finally, he nails one. 3 in a row, and they're back.
Wow, what a great rip. They have been belted in the clearances, but this is as good as you'll get. Zach Clark, they just force the issue. Pavlich just hits it forward. Get the momentum going your way. Main, what a great handball under pressure. And Mazungu, he's run with the ball, he's taken a bounce. What he had to do was either you find a forward or you finish off yourself, take the responsibility on either way, and he finished off in the right way.
Good decision and a great goal at Tendai Mazungu, and that's exactly what Glenn Jakovic was talking about earlier. Making the right decision when you're running forward in towards the attacking 50. You either hit a target or you take the responsibility to kick the goal, and that's what he did.
Judd, he needs to fire again. No clearance. Pavlich tries to. Fife tries to. Main tries to. Ellard got the clearance eventually. Thornton. 1.5 minutes left.
Can't just cough a goal up now. They've got to keep the pressure on.
Simpson. Shortish pass.
Well done.
Falk's got there. Walker, back of the pack. Sweats on it, gives up to Judd. Sides his way through to Walker. Splendid tackle. Great tackle, Subin. Ball still alive. Not through.
What a super tackle. That's the desperation that the Dockers have been looking for but unable to find all day. He tackled with aggression.
And his second effort after the tackle to knock it through, Jason, was pivotal.
That was good body work there by Armfield, a little bit too easily.
Stephen Hill's got to be better than that, Jason. This bloke's supposed to be a star. You've got to go back harder and make a contest there. That's under 18 football.
Yaron finds Judd.
Got to hang tight and try and get this margin under 4 goals at the last break and give yourself a chance because the crowd wants to get into this game.
Puts it up high. Cruiser. Strong hands.
It didn't pay it.
Garlett spins around. High kick, goal square. Clark stands under it. Ball bounces awkwardly. Through for a behind. They're hanging in. 32 seconds left. Maybe not time enough for a score for Fremantle. Plenty of time for a turnover.
Cruiser had a good purchase on that mark.
Barlow to himself. Sandlin's the target. Robertson, Sandlin's with the fist, knocks it down. Davies to the pocket. Walker! Skywalker again!
He's doing it on a weekly basis, isn't he?
You know what? He jumps at the ball more than any man. I'll tell you what, he's dropped heaps this year, but he's taken 2 magnificent marks
Have a look at the hands here, because he actually goes sideways. He has to turn sideways and reach across to take it. It's a terrific mark.
Great mark. That's right. Oh, gee, I love that. The marks come back
Oh,
into the
boy,
game.
is this a massive kick? He could nearly distinguish their chances or keep the Dockers' hopes alive. Extinguished, not distinguished, Dwayne.
Hasn't kicked one today. Crowd roaring, trying to put him off. He runs in and he spears it through. A dagger to the heart.
Oh, it's on.
Pushes and shoves, still going.
I don't think they like the celebration, the big pump of the fist.
Three-quarter time, Patterson Stadium, critical clash, round 21 between 4th and 9th on the AFL ladder. But Fremantle have played their way back into this. 33 points the margin. The Blues 11-16-82. Fremantle 7-7-49.